Hi everyone. It's 3 o'clock on the dot on Saturday. Welcome to our third lesson in my COVID-19 adults and teens virtual piano lesson series. Now, I'm super happy that you're here. We're going to start this lesson by going over last week's songs. We will be learning 3 new songs today and talking about something called intervals and dynamics. So it's going to be interesting. All right. So the first thing I want you to do, of course, like every single lesson we have, is hit the share button at the bottom corner of your screen. After you hit the share button, letting everyone know it's piano time, make a note to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can search Izzy Chia and find me on there. Also, if you haven't joined my private Facebook group, it's called Encore Music Makers, go ahead and put your request in to join. That way you can get one-on-one feedback from me how your piano songs are coming, okay? And last but not least, if you haven't ordered your book, I highly suggest you get that order in ASAP. There should be links to purchase via Amazon, or you can probably find the book at other vendors as well. I know somebody this week had purchased their book through Barnes & Noble, and it had a faster shipping time. So just keep in mind that you could probably find it in other places as well. So, but without further ado, let's get started, okay? I'm happy you're here. Hey, everybody! This is exciting. Okay, so first things first, we are going to start with review of our pieces from last week, okay? The first song we're going to start with is Playing on the Grand Staff, okay? This one is found on page 20 of your book, all right? So let's go ahead and get it started, all right? Let's go to piano view. All right, so with the grand staff, remember, we had our right hand there with our thumb on middle C, correct? And then we counted down 1, 2, 3 notes from middle C, and that's where our left hand goes. Is everybody there with me in the correct spot? Fantastic. Okay, so let's start with that right hand, okay? I'm going to count off and we will begin. Remember, this song also has a repeat sign. 1, 2, ready, play. How'd you do? Did you get through that first song? Great work. Okay, so that was Playing on the Grand Staff. Fantastic job. We're going to move on to Rock Along now, okay? So looking at the top of 21, you will see Rock Along, okay? Remember, this one had some skips, not just steps, but we had actual skips, so we need to pay close attention to that. Let's switch to piano view. Fantastic. All right, so this one's still located with the same position. We have our right hand thumb on C, middle C, and our left hand thumb, finger 1, on that G, okay? All right, let's begin. I am going to count off. Remember, this song also has a repeat, so we're going to play it through twice, okay? All right, here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. Two, good. Those skips can be kind of confusing if you're not careful. So make sure that we're very aware of how that's happening inside of our music, okay? Now, the last song we had from last week was Mexican Hat Dance, okay? This one was kind of a crazy song because it had skips, it had jumps, it had steps, it had rests, it had all kinds of stuff in there. So this is kind of like your challenge piece for this week. Let's see how it goes, okay? This one does have a repeat sign as well. So pay extra special close attention to that when we are doing that repeat, okay? Let's get started. Okay, so this one's in that C position as well. All right. I'm there. Are you there? Wonderful. Oops, looks like my camera moved. Let me move this back. Eee! Goodness. Please don't move. Okay, there we go. Let's try that again. All right, starting with the left hand finger 1. 1, 2, ready, play. Rest. 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 2, 3, 4, repeat. Rest. 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 2, 3, 4. All right. So how did that go for everyone? Pardon the camera shakiness. That was kind of a surprise to me. But you know, everyone did such a great job on these 3 pieces. I'm pretty impressed. So give yourself a pat on the back. You finished these pieces. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to the new songs we're going to get for this week, okay? So I'm going to turn my page to page number 24, okay? Remember 22 and 23 were our theory pages for last week, okay? So on page 24, we're learning about a new concept, okay? We have something called intervals, okay? Intervals is basically how we measure distance in music, okay? It can be something as close as a second or notes right next to each other, which we've done considerably, or in this case, the additional interval we're learning is the third, okay? And that is when we're doing a skip, like we had in Rockaway and in Mexican Hat Dance, right? So that's kind of cool. You already kind of know what they're sounding like, right? But the types of intervals that we're doing at this time are called melodic intervals, okay? That is, each individual note is played at a different time. So not played at the same time, but each one has their turn, okay? And you're listening to that relationship between those 2 notes to figure out what kind of interval it is, okay? So let's do an example. Let's look here at the top line of 24. And you will notice that they are looking at, there's seconds, and there are thirds, right? We're in that grand staff C position, okay? And we can probably play through this first line here, okay? Just to see what it sounds like. So let's switch to that piano view again. It's a little bit on the crooked side, but that's okay. All right, so find yourself in your C position. Fantastic. Okay, so we're gonna be starting with finger 1 on C for your right hand, okay? And I want you to notice that relationship. We're gonna start C, D, C, E, okay? I'm gonna count off. 1, 2, ready, play. Now it switches to the left hand finger 1. Very good. so let's see if we can play through those seconds and thirds again. Switch to the left hand, it starts on a G. So how'd you do on that? Those melodic intervals were kind of cool to be able to hear the difference between them, right? Awesome. Okay. Well, now let's see if we can apply what we've learned here about melodic intervals into a song, right? But before we do that, I see a pink box. Do you see it in the middle there? Okay, I see it. It says dynamic signs. Let me show you where this is. Right there. You see it? Wonderful. Okay, so dynamic signs. This is something new for us for this week. This is basically, we're learning how to monitor and learn about how loud or soft to play in our music, right? And we have musical terms that help us determine that volume, okay? Lucky for us, it's in Italian, so we get to learn some Italian today. So the first dynamic sign we're going to be learning is piano, okay? It's sort of like a fancy way to say the word piano, but it looks like this. It's just a big P or a little p, right? So piano. Take a moment and say it in your best Italian. Awesome. So piano, this is telling us that we're going to be playing quietly, okay? Softly. It's basically the pressure that you're putting on the piano key is going to be soft versus putting harder pressure on it, okay? So that's piano, all right? Now if we look at this first song here in the middle, it's called Au clair de la lune, okay? This piece is a one-line piece, woohoo, a nice short one, but it's consisting of melodic intervals, seconds and thirds, played piano. And it looks like it's just a right-hand song, okay? So let's see if we can switch to piano view, and we will play this little song, okay? Awesome, so I'm gonna put it here in my C position. I see the P right there. I also notice my time signature. It is a 4/4 time. So we're gonna have 4 beats a measure. And we're gonna play as softly as we can, okay? But still being able to hear it. All right, so I'm gonna count off, everybody. 1, 2, ready, play. Repeat sign. So how did we do? Did we get through it okay? It wasn't too tricky, was it? It's kind of funny to learn how to play piano first because you're thinking in your head, well, I have to be able to play loud enough for people to hear me, right? But if you're always playing loud, then it's really difficult to be able to turn it down a notch, right? So as you're playing through these pieces, make sure that you're using your active listening skills to be able to control the pressure in your fingers, okay? Great job. Let's see if we can play Au clair de la lune again, okay? All right. Oops. There we go. Okay, wonderful. So here's my right hand. I'm going to put it back in that C position. Wonderful. I'm going to count off and we're going to play that repeat. 1, 2, ready, play. Repeat. Nice job, everybody. You got through it. That's very, very good. Okay, so now that's the first teeny tiny little song that you're going to practice for this week. Okay, next song we have here is Tisket a Tasket. I'm sure a lot of people have heard this song before. Luckily, we get to play it. It looks like it's just going to be a left-hand song this time. Okay, and we do have another pink box with another dynamic sign. Okay, now we learned how to play piano. Now let's learn how to play Mezzo Forte. Okay, Mezzo Forte, kind of fancy, right? Basically, it looks like this, MF, Mezzo Forte, and it's telling us to basically play things medium loud, moderately loud. Not too loud, but not too soft either. Kind of in the middle. Okay, so when you see this in your music, play it sort of a medium loud. Okay? Awesome. So we are going to be looking at Tisket a Tasket now, and it's a left-hand song. So I'm going to switch to piano view. All right, friends. Find that C position for your left hand, finger 1 on G. All right, are we ready? I see Mezzo Forte right there at the beginning. Let's give it a try. I'm going to count it off. 1, 2, ready, play. Keep going. I don't see a repeat in that one. Hey, how did you do on that one? There was some interesting intervals going on in that second line. And it looks like we were going from an F, skipping down a third to a D. That's a little different. We haven't encountered that in our music yet. So let's see if we can play it through again in order to get those intervals just right. All right. Okay, let's find our spot. Awesome. All right, let's give ourselves a count off. Ready? 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2, to G, F, E, D, C, 2, 3, 4. Was that a little bit better? I like it when we get to play it more than once because we get another chance to get it right. Okay, so that's always a good thing. Now, that's the second song that you're going to practice for this week. But remember I said we were doing 3 songs for this week. So you're probably wondering, well, where is this third mystery song, right? Well, it's actually on page 26, okay? A little surprise. All right, so go ahead and turn to page 26. And we're learning about a different kind of interval this time, okay? Up until this point, we have learned about melodic intervals. And if you remember, melodic intervals are played one note at a time, right? It's the distance traveled between notes, played at different times. But now we're going to learn about something called harmonic intervals, okay? And this is the distance between notes played at the same time, okay? So that's really cool because now you are starting to understand the building blocks of chords. You know, like those really amazing chords that people play on the piano when they're jamming out. Those are called harmonic intervals, okay? Now you are going to have a chance to learn to play these harmonic intervals right now, okay? So the harmonic intervals we're going to be learning are harmonic seconds and harmonic thirds, right? Okay, so looking at the top of 26, you see the practice line on top. We're going to play through it. Are you ready? Let's do it. All right, let's switch to piano view. And I'm going to find myself in that C position. All right, is everybody there? Fabulous. Okay, so starting with the right hand, we are going to play Mezzo Forte. We're going to play C and D together, okay, and hold it for 2 beats because they're half notes. And then we switch to C and E, a third. All right, let's give it a try, everybody. 1, 2, ready, play. 2, 2, 2, 2. Switch to the left hand. 2, ooh, up to a third. Good, back to second. And to a third. I see a repeat sign. Let's play it again. 2, 2, 2, 2. Switch to the left. 2, 2, 2. All right. So how did that feel playing some harmonic intervals? I bet it felt kind of cool. You're like, hey, I can play some cool stuff now. All right, well, because we're learning cool harmonic intervals now, let's see if we can turn it into a song, right? But we have to learn our last dynamic sign first, okay? So you could probably see there's a pink box there, and there's a big F in there. It's called forte, right? And that is basically loud, okay? Here's my big giant forte, woohoo! And yes, it's going to be loud, right? I'm trying to be loud on camera. But yes, when you see the big F written in your music, you're going to play it loud. Not mezzo forte, not medium loud, but the loudest you probably could at that time, okay? Really go at it, all right? The piano can take it. Your keyboards can take it. Trust me, okay? All right, wonderful. So looking at this next song here, it's called Rockin Intervals, okay? It sort of has a combination of both melodic intervals and harmonic intervals, okay? And if you recall from last week's lesson, we also have some quarter rests in there. So make sure to give them 1 beat of silence when you encounter them, okay? It looks kind of scary, but don't worry, you're gonna do a great job. All right, let's switch to piano view. All right, so I'm going to find myself in my C position again. Excellent, and I am ready to play forte. Are you ready to play forte? Fantastic. Okay, starting with our finger 4 this time in our right hand, we are going to count off and pay extra close attention to those intervals. Ready? 1, 2, ready, play. Rest, rest, right, left hand. Rest, rest. Rest, rest, left hand. Repeat. Rest. 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 Wow. Did you get through? That was kind of like bizarre. Playing melodic and harmonic intervals, playing it loud, putting in some quarter rests in there. It's like what? It's like a giant pot of whatever in that song. But it came together very nicely, right? Because it was kind of tricky, I think it might be in our best interest to play it through again, okay? Analyze it, see what you missed, see what you could probably work on, and then make a note of that in your notebook, okay? All right, let's give it another try. Okay, so let me find my spot. Wonderful. All right, so here we are. I'm going to start with my right hand, finger 4, and nice and forte. All right, let's count off. 1, 2, ready, play. Rest, 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 repeat. Rest, 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 rest. All right. Are you feeling like really cool now? It's okay if you're not, but I'm proud of you either way. These are some pretty tricky concepts to be learning just on your 3rd piano lesson. So very, very good job. All right, so that is going to be the 3rd song that you're going to practice for this week, okay? When you're comfortable with it, remember in the private Facebook group, Encore Music Makers, I will have the assignment post, and you're free to post a video of yourself playing your pieces. That way I can give you feedback, right? That's my job as a teacher, is to help you learn it and learn it to the best of your ability. So if I have a chance to give you feedback, I certainly will, okay? So take advantage of that. Last but not least, I have theory for you, okay? So since your book has sort of everything all in one, your theory pages are sort of mixed in with your songs. So turn to page 25. This is what it looks like. Measuring melodic seconds and thirds. This page here is going to be your first page of theory homework, okay? Read the directions, all right? So basically you're going to understand the direction in which your interval is going, as well as the actual distance being measured. Okay, remember that's 2 parts of it. It's either going to go up or go down, and it's going to show you whether it's a second, steps, or a third, skips. Okay, so make that note in your music to be able to recognize the differences between those, okay? That's page 25. Now, turn to page 27. All right. Now, this one here is about measuring harmonic seconds and thirds, okay? Now, harmonic seconds and thirds, if we recall, are played at the same time, okay? That's the difference between melodic and harmonic. You're going to be doing similarly this theory homework page, okay? But this one has it a little different because they're telling you the interval, and they're giving you a note name. In this case, the first one here in number 2, there's a C right here, and they want you to do a second up from C. So if we use our brains, and I play a C, and I'm just going to go 1 step up from C, that puts me at a D. And there's my harmonic interval, okay? You're going to write in those note names there. And then for 3 and 4, they're having you write the name of each harmonic interval in the box, either a second or a third, and then they want you to play this little song, okay? So if you're really feeling up for it, as a bonus this week, go ahead and practice Harmonica Rock if you've got the time, okay? I think it would be nice to listen to that as well. Okay, so that's your bonus for this week. Okay, all right. So as far as lesson goes, we are finished. But before I close, I have our music quote. Okay, all right. Oh yes, this is a great one. This is from the amazing Dolly Parton. Okay, she says, "Storms make trees take deeper roots." That's pretty good. It's true. Some of the most difficult times that we've ever been in ground us even further into how we feel and what we believe. So that's pretty amazing. Wonderful. Last but not least, I'm accepting tips. So if you'd like to help keep these videos going and help me out, remember I am accepting tips. I take PayPal. My email is encoremusichtx@gmail.com. Venmo, my username is Izzy Chia. And Cash App, my username is IZZI3CH3A. Thank you guys so much again. It's been a lovely afternoon. I appreciate you immensely, and just share the video with your friends. Let everybody know that you enjoyed piano today. And I will see you in the group, and I will see you next week. Take care, everyone. Bye.